Hello, my name is Klint Macro. I wanted to take this opportunity to congratulate all you new gun owners on choosing to exercise our most basic human right. That's the right to defend ourselves and those that we love. As our country slips into unrest and violence, more and more Americans are recognizing that when seconds count, police are minutes away, and you are your own family first responder. Our Second Amendment empowers us, and it guarantees that the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed by our government. Even though we have this assurance, our Second Amendment is under constant assault. Conflict avoidance is the cornerstone of any defensive strategy. We must take proactive measures in our lives to make ourselves less attracted to criminals and make smart decisions about our safety. If we're able to collect and process information, we are likely to have more options, and we might be able to avoid conflict altogether. Many instructors teach techniques that are geared towards retaining control of a firearm if ever we're in close proximity to a violent criminal. Firearm retention is a huge consideration. One aspect of a personal defense strategy that many overlook is that we must also retain our firearms from the attacks of gun-grabbing politicians and elected officials that would seek to take away our tools of self-defense. There are many in all branches of government at the local, state, and federal level who are well organized and well funded that are actively trying to dismantle our Second Amendment and take away your rights and your ability to protect yourself and your precious family. A gun safe will not keep your gun safe from a gun-grabbing elected official. How can we, as our own family first responders, protect our loved ones if we are unable to be armed? Whether disarming occurs through physical or financial restrictions, limitations, mandatory buybacks, or confiscations, if you are unable to have the means to defend yourself because of the policies of elected officials, do you believe that the elected officials responsible for disarming you will take on the responsibility to protect you? If the citizens are restricted, would you be okay with the government and the criminals being unrestricted? Do you believe that the government can and will protect you from violent criminals? I'm guessing that you don't. That's why you just bought that new firearm. No matter your party affiliation or the lack thereof, do you really think it's a good idea that only government should have unrestricted access to firearms? Do you really believe that government will protect you from the government? If our Second Amendment is compromised, we will have little power to stop those in government who are seeking to disarm us from infringing upon our other rights. If we, the people, can no longer defend our liberty, we are doomed to lose it. History is rife with examples to support that statement. In firearms training, it is said that accuracy is a yes or no proposition. You either hit your target or you did not hit your target. Well, liberty is a yes or no proposition too. You are either for the individual rights of American citizens or you are not. If an elected or appointed official, politician, staffer, pundit, or advocate endorses the limitation of the individual rights of any law-abiding American citizen or the confiscation of a citizen's personal property, namely their tool of self-defense, then that person should be considered a threat to your liberty and your personal safety. In defensive training, we teach that if we're aware of our surroundings and the people in our vicinity, it is prudent to prejudge those people. If we believe a person to be a potential threat, we must take steps to distance ourselves from that individual and set thresholds where we can actively take steps to retreat, avoid, or de-escalate. But if that potential threat turns out and we believe that person to be an actual threat, then we must respond appropriately. Unfortunately, when it comes to gun-grabbing elected officials and candidates, it is impossible to avoid them. Burying our heads in the sand will do nothing to fend off the attacks of anti-gun politicians who seek to disarm you. Therefore, it is prudent to prejudge those who represent us and those who wish to represent us and vote accordingly. Do your representatives seek to empower you, or do they seek to restrict you? As we approach this and any future election, it is vitally important that we prejudge and vet the individual candidate. The light of liberty should not be exclusive to any one party. Vote only for those candidates who will protect your liberty and empower you to defend yourselves and those that you love. If a candidate stands on a platform that will limit, restrict, or abolish your rights or take away your means to exercise your rights, then that person should be viewed upon as a threat to your liberty and your personal safety. An educated and armed citizenry is our ultimate check and balance in this constitutional republic and our true homeland security. We are blessed to have liberties and rights available to us. No matter who you are or what you are about, you have these rights and liberties because you are an American. Exercise, cherish, and protect those rights because they are the foundation of your own personal protection strategy.